everyone, welcome back to Blueprint DIY, where we make designer fashion. Angelina here with the third episode of our spring summer season, and my excitement is really starting to bubble over because I have the next couple of weeks of projects already done, yes, and they're just fire. So y'all subscribe and turn on notifications for real. Okay, so this week we're turning these track pants into a tube dress. So you might be wondering why we would do this since track pants are really so popular right now. Well, the answer is simple, because we can. I like athletic clothing and mixing it up with other pieces, but I love athletic inspired clothing, and this seemed like the natural next step. So for this project, I have these real tearaway track or basketball pants, whatever you want to call them, that I got on one of my Chicago thrift trips. I've worn them as pants before, but they're just a bit big for my liking. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn them inside out and use the seam ripper to take apart the inside leg seam. Now I'll try them on and use pins to start to make it fit the way I want. Here I've laid it flat so you can see where my pins are. Then I put a seam down the front and back, following the line of the pins as closely as possible. Once I've made those two seams, I'll try it on again and start the process all over again, pinning and sewing until it fits like I want. Once it fits the way you want, you can see here it took me 3 times, but that's okay. Better to do it little by little than to have to use your seam ripper. Now you can cut off the excess. Then fold the seam to one side and sew it down. This is going to make that seam right down the middle look nice and purposeful. To do this and make it look nice and neat, I always line my seam up with some part of the sewing machine foot and make sure it stays lined up while I'm sewing. I also make sure the seam stays open and stretched so it doesn't bunch up. Now I can also turn the hem back under and sew down the portion I had to take apart. Now I do like my dresses boxy, but I think this one really needs some waist definition. So I'm going to use the waist drawstring that I cut off and put it at the new waist. To do this, I'll cut a strip of scrap t-shirt material about 1 inch wide by the same length as the front of my dress. And I do serge my edges as I go. I don't really mention it in my videos because not everyone has a serger, and none of the materials in this tutorial ravel. So if you have one, you can use it. If not, don't worry about it. So now I'm going to take that rectangle strip and pin it to the inside where I want to create the appearance of a waist. I'm really doing this step to figure out where my buttonhole should go. So I'll pin where the buttonhole should go and then unpin the strip of material for now. Then I'll add buttonholes where I mark with the pins. Fun fact, I hate doing buttonholes, but after a few tries, these came out okay. So next I'll slip my buttonhole open and place the strings through. Then I'll pin the end of the strings and the rectangle strip back down. Now I'll sew down the rectangle and string edges from the front of the garment. I really like to sew from the front for any visible seam because it just looks better to me. And make sure to backstitch at the edges where the string is, and make sure to keep the string in the middle and don't sew over it in any place other than at the ends, because then you won't be able to pull it freely at the end. So that's it. I love the way this turned out. You can undo the snaps to create a slit on one side or both if you like. Add some tie-up boots and the bag of your choice and you're ready to slay. And I can't wait to play around with different other ways to style this. You guys let me know what you think and how you would style it in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, trust me, this season is heating up and you don't want to miss it. Okay, see you guys next Thursday. Bye.